Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be responding to a much answered question. I get this video request all the time and it's all about my cat. So if you guys watch my vlogs, you will have seen Winnie here and there. She is my cat and I rescued her about 4 years ago. It'll be 4 years ago this summer, and I get a lot of questions about how I live vegan and also zero waste when I have a cat, so I'm here to respond to those questions today. First thing is first, I'd like to preface this video by saying that in an ideal world, how I would have it personally, we wouldn't have pets. So in a perfect world, we would be living in harmony alongside all other animals and let them do their thing in nature. We wouldn't be killing them, we wouldn't be stealing their homes and running them off their land, and we would all just be living together how we would naturally, and in that way we wouldn't be owning any animals. However, that's not the world we live in, and it's not productive to live in a fantasy and pretend like it is. In reality, we have lots of animals that do need rescuing. They've either been abused, thrown out, lost, or sometimes people try to return them. There are thousands of animals in this country alone that need adopting, and there just isn't enough shelter or care for them. So I decided around 4 years ago that I was going to adopt an animal, and I went to my local animal home and picked up Winnie. So it's not ideal that I have a pet, and it does bring up a lot of challenges when it comes to veganism and also zero waste living. But all in all, in the bigger picture, I think it's really important to adopt. And on that note, I would obviously highly recommend not shopping for animals, but always adopting. If you'd like me to go into that in another video, do let me know. I'd be happy to make a video just on adoption versus shopping. But for this video, we are going to be sticking to how I live with Winnie, with me being vegan and zero waste, and let's jump into some of the points. So firstly, I'm going to be talking about her food. Cat food, and I think pet food in general, is quite difficult to find with recyclable packaging, especially the kibble and the pouches of wet food. So how I get around that, it's not perfect, it's not ideal, but I'm doing the best that I know how to do. And that is by buying kibble in the largest quantity that I can find. So I have a humongous bag of dried kibble food that I can find, and I usually get this delivered because it is so big it's too heavy to carry. But in this way I am reducing packaging rather than buying lots of the smaller ones, which will equal more plastic in the long run. I get the largest one I can find. If you guys know of any kibble dry food for cats that is in recyclable packaging, please do let me know, because I'd be keen to try it out. So I get a huge bag of this kibble and then top up a mason jar and keep that nearby so it's easy to decant every day for her to eat. And for the wet food, I buy this in bulk as well. It's also cheaper this way, but the pouches are still plastic and non-recyclable. So how I get around this is, luckily Winnie is a very small and fussy eater. She often will just pick a little bit and then leave the rest, and I've noticed that often the food will dry out and then I'll end up throwing it out anyway. So with each pouch, most of the time, unless she's very hungry for some reason, in the winter time she does tend to eat more. Now we're going into summer, I'll be doing this a lot more, which is just taking half or even sometimes a third of the pouch and just giving her that until she finishes it, and then usually it's just the next day I'll give her the other half or third of the packet. That makes it last a lot longer, and it makes the food go a lot further, so that I'm not creating food waste, and also the packaging is reduced because instead of one plastic package lasting half a day or 1 day, it's gonna last 2 or sometimes 3 days. And yes, the wet food pouches do contain animal meat. This is probably the most common question I get because I'm vegan. People wonder what I feed my cat. Yes, it is meat, so it is heartbreaking for me to buy it, but I do because it is what's best for my cat. This, for me, and I believe a lot of other vegans as well, is what causes a lot of internal conflict and controversy. It's because we want to not contribute to the suffering of animals, and we want to reduce the amount of meat that is consumed in the world and stop it completely. And yet, those of us with cats and other animals that require meat to survive and to live healthily, we're having to buy it on their behalf, and this is hugely challenging. but the reason I feed her animal meat is because cats need animal meat in order to survive and to be healthy and fit and happy. That's not the case for humans, which is why I don't consume it. It's also not the case for a lot of animals. I know that dogs can live very healthy and happy and long lives on a plant-based diet as well because they are omnivores, but cats are obligate carnivores. If you guys would like another separate video on this, I can go more into this, but simply put, their bodies are designed to process meat. So for me, my priority is doing the best by Winnie that I know how to, and currently that's what it is. I'm really looking forward to the production of lab-grown meats, particularly for the purpose of feeding pets, but that's perhaps a topic for another video. As far as zero waste goes, I buy her litter pellets. They're made from clay and they also come in recyclable paper packaging, which is great. It's also one of the cheapest ones that I can find, so it's not more expensive to buy the eco version. And her favorite toys have been made by scraps of yarn that my mom has made. She also loves her laser pen, which I've hunted high and low for a rechargeable one so that I don't have to replace batteries. And I finally found one, which if I can find it again, I will link it down below. It was a long, deep, dark search on the internet, but if I can find it, I will certainly link that down below for you guys. Also, her favorite games of all time are playing chase with me and hide and seek. She loves to hide under bed sheets, so there really is no need to buy silly plastic cat toys that, quite frankly, they're not that interested in. If your cat loves catnip as well, which mine does, you can also buy catnip plants or barley grass plants that they love to chew on, rather than buying them in plastic baggies or toys that contain them. So I hope this video answered a lot of your questions. If you have any more questions, please comment them down below. I'll be in the comment section replying to as many as I can, and if there are lots of the same question, I will make a follow-up video to this. This is all of, on the top of my head, what I can think of are the most common questions that I get asked. And I hope that it helped you out. And if you have any information for me, any products that you think could help me create more sustainable food for Winnie, or any tips to reduce the waste, please do let me know in the comments below, and also share it for everybody else who's in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and you found it helpful, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye.